Hello crafters, in tonight's video we're going to be making a sympathy card, and we'll be using sentiments found in the Prayers and Promises Photopolymer stamp set. We'll be making our own background paper using the Eyelet's 3D embossing folder, and then we'll adorn the card using flowers found in the Pretty Florals Photopolymer stamp set and dies. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Before we get started, I want to tell you about our promotion. Our latest promotion is the exclusive Join offer. It runs from February 3rd to March 2nd. Each new demonstrator gets a free Stampin' Positioner with their starter kit. What's a Stampin' Positioner? It's our newest Stampin' alignment tool that makes stamping easier and more accurate. It allows you to stamp precisely aligned images and create repeating patterns and two-step stamping images easily and make multiple projects in just minutes. Here's a card we're going to make tonight, and we use the Prayers and Promises Photopolymer stamp set. And we use this stamp set right here, So Sorry for Your Loss, on the front of the card. And on the inside we used As You Grieve, May Your Memories Comfort You, Your Faith Strengthen You, May Your Hope Heal Your Heart. And then we used the Eyelet 3D embossing folder for this area here. And we used our Textures Notes dies. We used this second largest one and the fourth largest one. And we stacked them like that. And then for the flowers, we used this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. And we used the Pretty Florals Photopolymer stamp set. This is from the annual catalog, where this sentiment was from the mini catalog. And we're going to use this one right here and this one right here. What we're going to do first is we're going to do the embossing, because we want to get that set up and let it dry. We're going to bring in our paper first, because we want to use a piece of 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, or 10.8 centimeters by 14 centimeters. We're going to emboss that. At the same time we emboss the vellum paper. This is going to be cut at 3 1/8 inches by 4 5/8 inches. And we're going to put that into our embossing folder. And we want to have it where it's going to be pressed. So this is coming up here. We want to set this in here so that we are going to be punching it out with this raised image, and I see there's something in here, so let me get that out first. That worked. So I want to set that in there so it's centered, and we want to center this onto here. Okay, then we'll bring in our big cut and emboss machine. And this is the sandwich we want to use right here. So we need the number 1 plate, and we need the number 4 plate. And this is our number 4 plate right here. I'm going to open this up. And we want to put this folder in with the folded edge toward the rollers. And then we're just going to crank it to get it rolled out. Got that, and we've gotten this. And what we want to do next is to put some ink onto our embossed image here. And we're going to use Whisper White. Looks good. And we can put this away now. And then we'll bring in our big card base. This is cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And we already have it scored at 4.25 inches. This would be 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And the score line is at 10.8 centimeters. And we're going to fold and burnish that. I like to burnish it on both sides to give a nice crisp edge. And I'm thinking I need to buff up the edges here because they look a little furry here. I can see it right here where my blade must be getting dull. And so I'm going to have to change that here soon. But you can just knock that off. Let's just double check this one. So what we want to do next is we want to tape this down onto the card base. I'm using this tear and tape because of the embossed image, and I want to make sure that it's going to make contact there. And we're going to put a little bit in the middle here. I want this to stick down. And I'm just burnishing this with my finger because I don't want to use my bone folder because that'll flatten my embossed image. And we'll use our Take Your Pick tool to pull these paper backings off and get them started. Throw this out. Then we're going to put this on this card base, and I turn it landscape so that it's easier for me to get it on there. I want to make sure this corner matches here and this corner match, and then it should line up. It shifted on me. There. And I'll just use my bone folder on the inside of the card just to make sure that we've got a good contact there. Then we're going to stamp our sentiment. I need a piece of basic white cut at 4 inches by 5.25 inches, or that's going to be 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And then we're going to use our basic gray to stamp our sentiment for the inside of the card and the sentiment on the front of the card. And I'm moving it around so that I'm not creating a divot in there. And I want to line this up so that it's centered. And we're going to scrub that with our Stampin' Scrub. And we're going to use our Stampin' Mist. And this is where we know there is a raindrop there. So this is the wet side. And then this has a sunbeam. So this is the dry side. I'm just going to spray this just a little bit here. Don't want to get it on our cards, so I want to kind of protect that a little bit. And let me stamp off. Okay. Then we're going to take our piece of basic white. It's about 3 by 3 inches. And we're going to bring in our cut and emboss again. So we're going to use this sandwich right here. So we need our number 1 plate right there. Then we need the number 2 plate right here. And then a 3 plate, the one that's all etched up. And then the second number 3 plate. We'll put that on when we get this lined up here. And I'm just going to take our die cut. I forgot we needed this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the largest to die cut. And we're just going to do this. I don't care if it turns a little bit because I got a lot of card there. Then we want to stamp this with our sentiment. I'll just get this out of the way for right now. We need some more. We'll need it for some more cutting. Here's our stamp. And we're going to use the basic gray again. Trying to make sure I had it lined up. Level. Now you can see this is way too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up here on there, and I'm going to just roll it over this just a little bit. I won't roll it all the way through because if I have it crooked, it will show up. That same sandwich, 2 plate, the number 3 plate. And now I need my tape here. So we're going to use this Post-it cover-up tape. And it sticks securely, removes cleanly, and you can use it over and over. And we will. And I just want to roll this over the very end. And I'm feeling it, so I'll know when it gets over that. And it's over now, so I'm just going to go back. I'll peel this off. And see how I tore that little bit off there? So I'm just going to straighten that out just a hair. That looks good. So now we can glue this inside here. And we'll use our Tombow liquid glue. This right here. But I have to use it in this gun because I can't squeeze this bottle anymore. My arthritis hurts too much. So I'm just going to use this. And when you're all done, you just want to screw this cap back on. You put that little needle nose down into the barrel, and that'll keep this liquid. You won't dry it out. And then while you're using it, you can just put it in here because there's a rubber stopper right there. And that'll keep it dry as well. My silicone mat here, that'll help keep my work surface clean. And we're just going to squeeze it. I start in the middle in case there's a glue gob come out. And then squeezing it ever so lightly. And we don't want it that way, we want it turned around. And I'm going to again put it this way. And I want to leave 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Let's use my bone folder to get all those air bubbles out. Next we're going to do some cut and emboss again. We need to cut the frame out. And we're going to use this to cut it out. And we need a piece that's cut out at 3.5 inches by 5 inches. And then we'll do this, and that'll be in the center. So let's get that on our cut and emboss machine. I'm going to take this tape off from here. That was what we just cut. And we'll use it here. And I want to center that. That looks good. And we're going to put our second number 3 plate on there. I feel like I have something underneath here. I think that's what was causing the problem. Okay, let's take this off from here. We're probably going to need that tape yet again. That looks perfect. Just how I wanted it. We can use this on another card. What we'll do next is glue this down, and I'm going to use that tear and tape once again. And then we're going to put this on here. We want to center it. Looks about right. I'm just using my finger to burnish it. And I want to check and make sure that it's not sticking out anywhere. Okay. So then we can put it on here. And we're going to use our dimensionals for that. We'll put one right here. We'll put one in each of the corners. And then we'll put one in the center of each line there. Like right here. And it's just the right amount of space so that you don't see the dimensional on the other side. Then I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and pick the paper backings off from here. Then we'll want to center this as well. So we're leaving about 1/2 inch for a border on all 4 sides. What I'm looking at is I've got that design in the embossing folder right here. So I'm just trying to center that on that. That seems to work. Then we need to do our flowers here. We've got to do these right here. I want to stamp these flowers here, but I think I'll put them down farther underneath this tag here so that you don't see as much of the stem. And we're going to stamp the flower head first, and that's going to be with our Petal Pink. And we've got a piece of cardstock here. It's basic white, and it's 2 inches by about 5.5 inches. And I had said in my sheet that it was 2 inches by 8.5. And the reason I did that is because I want to be able to cut this out on the rest of that. I know we used a 3 by 3 inch, but we could use a 2 by 8.5 and get everything all cut out on that one piece of cardstock. So we've got our Petal Pink here, and I'm just going to move it around on the stamp here. And I should have brought out our Stampin' this here. And the next one is the details. So that'll be our Timid Tiger. I think we're done with this one, so I'm going to close this one up. And I want to make sure we've got that lined up, so excuse my head for getting in there. And we're done with this as well. Then we're going to use this next. That is the stems. And we will use SHY Shamrock for that. I want to stamp this off before we get any farther though. And then we'll do the SHY Shamrock. And I'm going to bring in our Stampin' Scrub again. Oh, and that 2 inches by 8.5 inches would be 5.1 centimeters by 21.5 centimeters. And then we need to die cut this. And we'll also need to die cut some stems out of the SHY Shamrock cardstock. And this was 2 inches by 3 inches, or 5.1 centimeters by 7.6 centimeters. Okay, let's bring this up here. We're going to put this down here first. Then we're just going to crank this out. And we'll just poke this out too. And we've got one more flower head here. So let's bring this back in here. We said we wanted to bring them down closer to the sentiment. So that's where we want the sentiment on the card. So let's bring this down here. That's about where we want that. And then we want to put this behind it. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and get this one glued down then. I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to swap it out for the one that I have it showing there. And just swap it out right about like that. And we're going to put this on our flower here. I'm going to attach each of these. I'm putting just a little bit of glue right there. We'll put the big one on first. And this one's going to go right about here. Let's see. That seems to work. So let's get this on here then next. I'm going to lift this off. You want it to be right about that same area. Let's just see. I think we can maybe twist it a little bit more this way. And we'll see this. Okay, let's do this then. And we can attach that one next. I think we are done. Sorry for your loss. And then the inside has that other sentiment, keeping you in my thoughts and holding you in my heart and remembering you in my prayers. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Can you think of other sentiments to use with this card? Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in 2 weeks on Sunday, February 22nd at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog, and I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.